on UiPath Clipboard AI and why it has been selected as a Times Magazine Best Invention of 2023. So, without a further ado, let's go to the next slide. Atul, can you go to the next slide? All right, we'll give some quick introductions of our amazing team here. Myself, Naveen Chetlapalli. I work as a solution architect at Ashling Partners, and it's my 4th anniversary exactly this day. So I'm happy to work at Ashling Partners, where I got a chance to deal with multiple clients in various sectors and regions and categories. Also, on the top of it, I have been leading UiPath Dallas chapter since a year and a half, which is a byproduct, and I have been recently selected as a UiPath MVP for the 2024. I should consider that as a byproduct of my interest and passion of teaching about technology and latest trends and techs and trends in robotic process automation, and especially in UiPath. So that is a short brief about myself, and over to you, Atul.
Sure. Thank you so much, Naveen, and congratulations for your work anniversary. Hello, everyone. My name is Atul Trikha. I'm the Chief Technologist and RPA Solution Architect for Peloton. I'm also the UiPath MVP. This is my third year as an MVP. I was MVP for 2022, 2023, and recently for 2024, which is again a great honor and privilege. I'm also a UiPath Ohio chapter leader, and I'm enjoying that part and really excited to go over today with the AI path clipboard AI. And I think this year is full of AI related components and tools around UiPath. So I'm happy that I'm part of that family who is focusing more on the hot topics like intelligent automation with AI. So thank you so much. Over to you, Courtney.
Hi, and I'm Courtney Dominguez. I am one of the chapter leads for the South Florida chapter. And I've been working in the automation space for probably about 8 years. And I really just love working and helping companies, be more efficient and do things better. And this topic, when it came up, Atul and Naveen and I were all interested in it. We happened to be in a discussion together, a meeting together, and realized that we were all really interested in this product. So we decided to partner and join forces and do a joint presentation for all of our chapters. So welcome everybody to be here today. For those of you that don't know me, I'm part of the South Florida chapter. So thanks for joining all of us together, and thanks Naveen for hosting us.
Yeah, and thanks a lot, Courtney and Atul, for joining the forces. So, as you know, this is the community edition session that is being conducted by the UiPath, UiPath enthusiasts like me, Atul, and Courtney. So, please feel free to make this session more, like both ways discussions, and you can ask your questions. Feel free to save your questions to the end, and we'll go to the next slide and see what is the agenda for this meeting. Yeah, so the agenda for this meeting is going to be what is the innovation behind the Clipboard AI, and what are the features that are setting it apart. And we're going to cover some real world applications and benefits, what you can gain through this amazing tool. And we'll have some amazing interactive demo, which you might not have seen before for sure. Atul has prepared an amazing demo, and we're also going to discuss about the future implications. So going to the next slide. So mainly innovation behind the Clipboard AI. This is used for addressing the universal challenges to solve common workplace problems of manual copying and pasting, which is generally done by most of the RPA tools. So UiPath has been excelling in this RPA workflows, and it has created various segments for this as well by you having UiPath Studio and UiPath Studio Pro, and also a citizen development application called as UiPath Studio X. But even more simplifying, it has come up with some amazing tools called as Clipboard AI. This is, if you remember, a couple of years ago, UiPath conducts from forward events, which is technical events where the UiPath folks will introduce or give some teasers about their upcoming future products. In one of the forward events, the previous co-founder Daniel Dines has explained his interest in creating some semantic automations which can automatically do all these things and understand human knowledge better and understand the RPA much more better using machine learning and artificial intelligence. So that is the tool, this that his idea of creating some semantic automation has taken a part, and this is the initial version of his idea that is called as Clipboard AI. And it is mainly designed for addressing universal challenges for copying and pasting data across applications and in cross platforms. You can use it in any platforms too. And AI and machine learning integration, because in today's trends, AI is taking, it's evolving like anything. It is multifolded. Every day you see some new tool coming up, but even that, there is a this tool has a right direction, and it is solving the right purpose with the latest technologies of AI and machine learning, using some latest computer vision algorithms and all these things, and mostly zero coding requirement. As I previously told, UiPath has already come up with a tool for the citizen developers, which is called a Studio X, but even more simplifying, which doesn't even require any coding requirement. So this is the go-to tool for all the non-developers and who can directly use this tool. And enhanced data processing. So with the latest artificial intelligence computer vision algorithms, which is already being implemented in UiPath Studio, so they have implemented those kind of algorithms and some homegrown models, computer vision models, which will enhance your data processing from multiple applications. It can identify the application that you're trying to automate and where you want to move that data from one point to another point. So that is the enhanced data processing implementation that they are trying to make. Seamless cross application functionality. So previously you have to, for any tools like some applications like SAP, or any tool like Salesforce or anything, you have to find some right selectors, and you have to identify the right text boxes and all the functions that are UI elements that needs to be identified. But with the seamless cross application functionality, you can the Clipboard AI automatically identifies the text boxes, and it can easily convert those into the required automations. And continuous innovation. So this is the initial version of the tool, which is being used for general application GA mode, which we can call it as a beta version. But it has to be it can be used for enhancing your productivity using this AI driven solutions. And you can go to the next slide, Atul. Also, why UiPath Clipboard AI stands out, and why it has been recognized as Time's Best Inventions of 2023. Times Magazine releases best AI tools. I mean, I think starting from 2022, it has started recognizing many of the applications which are being leveraged by most of the users, enterprise users and public users and all these things. But getting recognized by that times is not a small feat, because it has to go through a lot of filtering process. And the reasons, you can see innovative solution to a universal problem. So the universal problem here is not everyone is going to be a developer, and not everyone can understand the technical terms and all these things. So this Clipboard AI is going to provide a universal solution by just opening it. If you throw a document to it, if you show a document to it, it can automatically understand by the latest machine learning models, and it can automatically convert those informations into manual data entry, where you can solve the work list problems there, and enhancing the productivity and efficiency. With this kind of tools, anyone can save a lot of time and become more efficient by using smart tools like Clipboard AI. And broad impact and accessibility across.
Did we lose Naveen?
Yeah, he froze.
Okay. Naveen, can you hear us? Okay, so we'll give a chance to Naveen to join, but I think what Naveen was trying to cover again, it is like this tool is again a very covers wide range of users. Not only that, it uses advanced technologies that we are using, or like AI and ML is hot topic, and that is what behind the scene this tool is using. And a very user centric design. When we will go through the demo, you will see that it is a very simplest, to be very honest, this is the simplest window based tool that I have seen in the last couple of years. Very easy to use, very simple, two buttons. We'll go through that. So these are a couple of points that make this Clipboard AI stands out, and that's what we are going to see shortly in a demo. So going to the next slide, I think is this one, Katni, you want to go through, or was it for plan for Naveen?
Yeah, I can go through this one.
Okay.
So, I think like Naveen was saying, I think, and like Atul just said as well, actually, one of the things that really appeals to me with this tool is the ease of use, and also just the ability to open this and get this into the hands of some of the users that perhaps maybe don't normally get a chance to get their processes automated. One of the typically when you're building your use case, your pipeline for automation, you're looking at large use cases, things that have a lot of return on investment, because there's a cost associated to developing it. So you want to make sure that you're getting the return on that. So there's a lot of smaller use cases, that people might be doing every day that don't necessarily get the attention of a COE or even a citizen developer, because it requires someone to put some coding into it. And this tool, what I love about this tool, again, as a business analyst and not someone coming from with a development background, is the ease of use and really the ability to get this into the hands of the everyday user. And you don't really need to know anything about automation. It's very simple to use, as a tool is gonna show us. So, the having the ability built into the tool to be able to gather data, and it pulls it into a clipboard, right? So like you're going to copy and paste like you would do an image. This takes the data and copies it and then puts it into someplace else. So you're able to copy it from, you could take it from a website, you could take it from a document, you can take it from a JPEG, and the tool is going to show us all of these things. And so it's got the LLM built in, so it gathers that data and then pulls it into the clipboard. It seamlessly integrates with other UiPath tools and beyond, right? So it really gives the user the ability to gather data from multiple places and then paste it into whatever is their kind of end goal. It's got smart handling, so you don't have to do a lot of coding in it. It will take the data and figure out where to paste it. And if for some reason it's not right, you're able to go into the UI and make those updates. And it's very, very simple to use. It's got the analytics in place, so you're seeing, and it's kind of self-learning from those actions as it's going through it. And security and compliance, I think, is an important thing as well, because a lot of users get creative when they're trying to automate their activities, and they may be using tools that, a lot of them, you see it all the time in finance, where they're building their own macros. They've got these very complex spreadsheets that they've built, and they've got all these macros running because they don't like to do this type of work. And so, that becomes part of their everyday, and it becomes impossible to decommission spreadsheets because they've built all these crazy macros. And this gives this gives organizations the ability to give the tool to the user, and not worry about it, because you've already got that security in place and you've already vetted it as part of your UiPath suite of tools. So it becomes part of your organization's standards. Can you go to the next slide, Atul? Some of the use cases, I know when you see it, if you haven't seen it already, a couple of things really came to mind for me immediately. One of them, and because I happen to be doing it for something outside of an enterprise organization, but is expense reports. Everybody hates doing expense reports. Everybody hates gathering receipts, going out to your credit cards, going to a website. You're getting your hotel itemized receipts to your email. Everybody hates doing that. Everybody hates gathering that data and then pasting into whatever expense reporting tool. So in my case, I happen to be doing something personally. I'm a team mom for my daughter's sports team, and I was gathering receipts for all of the expenses that I've gathered for the team. So you could use it for that as well. But it's the same concept, right? It's expense reporting. It's gathering all of that data and putting it into an expense reporting tool, which is painful, right? So to me, that was the first light bulb moment. The last one on this list is the supply chain coordination. The same thing very similarly applies to if you're getting inventory, if you're getting things in from suppliers, you need to gather the BOLs, you need to gather the receipts, and put in your inventory that you've received. A lot of times that can also be very painful, and you're gathering data from multiple locations, emails, websites. So gathering all of that data, the tools are built in to be able to extract the data and then put it into the clipboard and paste that into another location. Financial reporting, I already mentioned it all, previously, but there's lots of tools where finance is gathering data into Excel spreadsheets and then pasting it or uploading it into SAP or into Oracle or into Salesforce, wherever they're putting that data into. So this also gives the the financial teams the abilities to have a tool that can quickly gather data and then paste it into those locations, so that your accounting and financial teams can be focused on things that actually matter, as opposed to gathering and pasting data. And then really more from an industry standpoint, there's a lot of, I work with a healthcare company. There's a lot of use cases where they're gathering data from patients or studies, and you need to take that data and paste it into a system so that it can be reviewed. And customer support, the same type of activities, right? Everyone, I think the key to all of this is everyone's doing some kind of manual data gathering and then pasting that data into another location. A lot of those are low-hanging fruit use cases, and this really puts the tool into the hands of the users that need it, and that way then they're able to get some relief from the day-to-day activities that they're doing. And Naveen, I see you're back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had a glitch in my internet. I didn't notice that I dropped off. So thanks for covering that up, team.
No worries. And I think, yeah, so last but not least is just, really the way that this is going to be very transformative. So from data integration, taking data from one place and putting it into another, the incorporation of the LLMs, that's huge. I mean, traditionally, those types of tools have only been really for larger scale automations where you're really processing a lot of data, and really hasn't been available to just the regular day-to-day user to be able to process their data. So putting that into a tool that really is going to transform day-to-day use for some of these users is remarkable. Industry specific applications. So whether that's in finance, HR, we talked about customer support, it could be within the supply chain. So there's a lot of places there where, it can be introduced, and then also just creating all of that operational efficiency, which we are all passionate about because we're all on this call today. So we're all interested in making things better and more productive for the end user. So, taking that manual effort out of it and allowing the users to really focus on what is really more important, right, in their day to day. like I said, I think for me, just having a tool like this that you can give to your end users, a tool is going to show us right after this how easy it is. And it really, to be able to have very little training, and be able to just get this out into your community. It doesn't have to be citizens developers. You'll see in a minute that this is very, very simple. In fact, most developers are probably going to be annoyed by this and not enjoy it because it's that easy and they don't actually get to do anything. So most developers probably won't enjoy this as much as somebody like myself, who's a business analyst and not a developer. So for me, this is really exciting, and I can see how this is going to, be applicable across the organization. And then, like I said, the enhanced data privacy and security, having a tool that is something that your organization approves of and is putting out into the organization is really important, because users are creative and they will find ways to, automate their work. I tell the story often about how, back when I was at a company and we were first rolling out UiPath, the reason why UiPath even came up and bubbled up in our organization is because one of our users in supply chain actually had been using the studio version, right? Studio X version of the tool, and had automated some of his day-to-day activities. And so that's how, again, creative people are going to find creative ways to solve problems. And so putting tools like this in the hands of the users, but making sure that it's something that your organization is already leveraging, is really important. So you want to make sure that you've got all of that security involved with the tools that are the users are actually using. So it's critical. And now, without further ado, Atul is going to go through a couple of use cases and show us how we can quickly start using this.
Thank you so much, Courtney and Naveen, for giving a overview about this tool. And like you mentioned, this is one of the simplest tool I have seen. If you will think about it, let me show if I have the AI also. This tool, how to install. There is a very simple what you call a exe that you will download. It is free tool. I don't have that exe, but it's a very simple exe that you will install. It is a window-based tool. Once you are done installing the tool, this is how it looks like. Very straightforward, two buttons. That is what most of the users will use. Copy, paste. So this tool, Clipboard AI, I mean, we all are meant for doing more creative works than doing copying and pasting, right? That's where this tool comes handy, where you let all your copy paste, this Clipboard AI handle that, and let us focus on the more creative work. And this tool is, if I have to explain in a very simple word, is a window based tool which is using the AI technology. It helps us in transferring the data. What it does is copy and paste. It understands the content of our source, whatever the document, either it's an image, it's a PDF, it's a form. Where if it is a form, like a structured data, it understands the content behind the scene. It use all the semantic machine learning models that are specifically trained to comprehend languages, and using those models, it paste the data. If it is an image, it uses the OCR technology to read the data, and then again using the Gen AI and models, it pastes the data depending upon their labels and maps. Also, on top of that, it has the capability to transform the data. For example, if I'm using, which we will see in a moment, like if we have like something in miles, we want to change into kilometers, a currency from US dollar to euros. So it has, other than the copying and pasting intelligently, it also has the capability to do some kind of transformation. So let's see this tool in action. So we'll start with a very simple example. Let me bring it here. So let's start with an example of a driving license. Okay, so what we are going to do is, this is an image of a driving license, and I have multiple image, and I'll show you each image is different. For example, these are semi-structured data, right? I mean, so here the information is here, but where it exists, it will be different from state to state. So I can pick any of this image, for example, driving license. All I need to do is, if I have to copy this information, extract this information, I'll simply use this tool. So there are two options that I'll see. One is copy window. If I don't care about what there may be multiple pages back and front, I can simply select on copy window. or I have another arrow where I can specifically select a region that I only want to copy data from a specific region. It can be this region, or I can simply drag it and say that this is the region which is of my interest. So those are the two options that you will see while copying a data. Either you want to copy the complete data from a document. It can be multiple page. Not in this example, we'll go into more like a sales agreement where it has multiple pages. But in this example, I can simply go ahead, instead of selecting a region, I simply select copy window. What it will do is, if you see, it is analyzing the data behind the scene. It is reading from the image using OCR, using all the ML model to understand the content of this document. And then what I'm going to do is, if you will see, I've created a very basic demo application just to showcase how it can be used. But depending upon your different applications or an Excel, we'll be simply able to paste this data. So let's go here. This is a sample application which is all about capturing the driving. What I'm going to do is simply come here and click paste in form. So what it will do is, it will open up, it will automatically analyzing which fields should be copied. For example, document type, ID number, state. So I'll compare side by side comparison, but you see how it is copying the data, that it has been pasting the data what is been copied from the driving license, and it's all done here. If you will see here, let me bring that document back. So this is the driving license we have just copied. Let me make it a little smaller. See? So document type, driving license. There are multiple document types here. For example, select document, it selected the one which we have. And then the ID number, which it is copied from 1 to 3, the customer identifier. State as New York, which is not mentioned here somewhere in the field, but it understands that this driver license belongs to New York. So it has copied from there. Authority, who has issued this license, which is coming from Commissioner of Motor Vehicle. And then all the first name, last name, date of birth, address, and gender, and everything from here, right? I mean, if you will see, it has F as in the gender, but in the drop down it was male, female. So it is easily able to capture that kind of information also based upon this one. And not only that, when you are pasting the data, you can also view the data. We will see in further example how we can transform the data. For example, let's say, take this example one more time. So I want to copy this data, but this time, instead of showing in a specific format, so what I want to do is, this time I want to paste in an Excel sheet. Okay. So what I'm going to do, instead pasting it, I want to show in a mapper, paste with mapper. What does that it will do? It will show you what kind of information it has captured, from which field it has captured. Not only that, you can now change the format. That is what we call the transformation. For example, I want to capture the birth date in a different format. So all I need to do is click on this button, and that is where I can specify that instead of this one, instead of dd, change to dd or yy. And when I simply do that, it will transform my date. If you will see, earlier it was in this format. Now with a simple button click, it has transformed the date to a specific format, which is now date, month, year. So this is on a single click, you will be able to transform these changes, and simply click on paste data, and now it will paste the data for you. In the previous example, we have seen it has copied into a form, but if you want to copy into an Excel with including the transformation, it will be able to do that. For example, in this case, we have transformed into this particular format, but the issue date and expiration date was still in the default format. So that is how, with a simple click, it copies the data from the driving license and paste it in an Excel or even in a form. Similar way, we can use the same example here. Instead of driving license, let's say if I want to copy in the passport, and let's take an example here. This is where the region will come into picture. So let's say I'm here, and now I will show if I'm only interested in a specific region. So that is where I will select this region. That is where I want to extract the data from. Once I do that, it is analyzing the data. Same way it will take, read everything from there. I'll go back to the demo app. Instead, this time I will choose passport, and I will go back here and say paste in form. So it will start doing its magic and started putting document code, nationality, first, all the information that is as captured from the passport into this form. So now you can see here with this intelligent automation, we can, again, we were doing copy and paste, but now the intelligence is coming into picture, extracting, understanding the content of document and pasting into, mapping it to their respective field with the labels, as well as providing us a capability to transform those data also. So these are the some simple example, right? Now let's go into more complex example of an invoice. So for that, let me go back here. And what we are going to do is take an example of a receipt here. So now you will see this is a receipt. The example which I think Katni also gave. So this is actually Katni's receipt. So for example, if you will see, this is a receipt which has a lot of information about different items that I purchased, from where we have purchased these items, what is the total price, what are the taxes. All we need to do is simply go back here, copy window, and then we can do, I will again take this example to paste in both the form here. Let's say if I have a simple form which captures something, so I will simply going to say paste in form, where it is a very simple form of pasting the data. It will analyze and try to map it, and here while mapping it, it will get the vendor's name, address, phone number, date of receipt. If we want to change it, we can always select the option that open mapper, and then put those items here. This demo application was, again, it's a sample application, so I haven't created a grid to capture this information. For that particular example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a here. That will give you more clean picture of what exactly it is trying to do here. Sorry, let me start again because it has copied pasted. So let me again do it. Copy window, and going back to Excel sheet here and paste in the Excel. So now in this case, so it is changed. So if you will see, there's another feature. For example, this is an invoice, but here it is showing it as a plain text. We have the capability to change it. So rather than it is a plain, creating it as a plain text, I can tell that it is not a plain text. It is a specific document of type invoice. So I can now change the type of document while extracting. And now if you will see, when I do that, earlier it is giving me option, what do you want to extract from there, if it is a plain text. But when I specify this document that this is not a plain text document, this is a receipt, I selected a specific document, clicked on invoice, and that's how it has loaded all the predefined with all the mapping. And when I click on paste here, now you will see the magic. So not only it captures the address, but if you will see, a clean line items with all the information. And if we can go back to the here receipt, you will see here the vendor name, the address, net amount, tax amount. I think this is something issue here, but the tax amount is like $9.13. Total amount 164.78. Invoice number, invoice date. Not only that, but in addition to that, it has also captured all the details. For example, the bananas quantity 2.97 lbs with the unit price of 69, and 2.05 is the total. So see how much details it is able to capture from an image which is also not very clean, right? I mean, this is the image that it is looking like. Even if I have to do it manually, it will take a lot of effort for me to understand what is going on, copying it one by one. With a single 2 button clicks, I'm able to extract even a complex document which has a lot of line items into a simple Excel sheet. So that is the power of Clipboard AI. These are, we are so far, the example that we have given is mostly semi-structured. Now let's take another example of an email. So what is this? Is where the unstructured document will come into picture. So let me open an email here. which is about where's the email? Yeah, let's see. So let's say if I have a sample email object, I've just copied it in more like here. So this is an email where somebody has sent me, or the IT team, that they are facing some issue with their VPN connectivity, right? There are a lot of useful information here, how we can leverage in unstructured data. Same way, you will come here, you click on copy window, and it has copied that window. You want to let's say use in a tool like your ServiceNow, or let's say, just for the simplicity of example here, what I'm doing is I'm going to use a sample here, and I'm going to do that, paste in this Excel. So you will see here, like other document, it's not a structured document, it is a semi-structured document. But here something went wrong here. Let me fix in the mapper. So this is a plain text, and yeah, so I think this time it didn't took that mean, but I mean, if you understand, it has the capability where you can define fields, how you want to change if anything is not working as what you require. So you can always go back and change the way it has, and you can try on different ways. If it is specific document, you can mention it here. If not, you can try on different behaviors and see does it changes the things, how it is capturing the data. And you may it may take couple of hit and tries if you are dealing with those kind of data. But again, copy and paste, simply what we are doing is we are intelligently copying and pasting those information. And the same thing, if let's say another example we can take here is, if we have a list of information, for example, this is another good example, like I have a list of supplier here, right? So what I'm doing is, let's say in this case, I'm saying copy cell here, copy cells. And the one interesting thing, more intelligent, I will say is, let's say you are coming back to this tool. Okay, so now in this case, you want to add in a loop, you want to iteratively add the supplier. Basically, let's say we have a 3 suppliers here, but my application allows to save supplier one by one. So how we can do that? I have copied all the supplier that I want to save in this application. Click on copy cells, and when I go back to my application here and click paste in form, so observe how it will work. So firstly, it will analyze, match the data, and start pasting. For example, this one, name, website, address, and then contact name, phone number, category, partnership, and then it will stop here. It will ask me, are you ready to save? Go into the next record. And at this stage, I will click submit. Basically, I have captured all the information from my supplier number 1. I'll click submit. That is where this information will get saved into your database. And then you will click on paste data. So now it will start pasting the second record. So firstly it was ABC. Now you will see XYZ. So this is how intelligently not only it is pasting, but it also understand how to iterate through the records. Same way, second record is created, I'll click submit. It has saved the second record and paste the data. So now it will started entering the record number 3. So that is the power of this tool. Without doing much, I am not taking, like, I mean, as a user, I don't need to worry about all these tools. All I need to do, copy, paste. Yes, in few cases, like we mentioned about, you may need to go back and click on like tools like where you need to go and start doing mapping, where you will see get more and more information. But those are for advanced user. If you are dealing with the plain text, you want to query the data, you want to do some transformation. If you are not dealing with that, it is as straightforward. Even the transformation, all you need to do when you are doing a transformation, for example, let me go back to the previous example for a minute just to show you transformation. For the transformation also, we didn't did much, right? All we did is, when we are copying this data, all we did was copy this window, and when we were pasting the data here, all we did is like paste in, and we can say paste with mapper, and just a single button where it will show the changes. And also, not only that, when you click on there, it will also show you useful information here, like how, if you want to change a date, this is an example. If you want to change from USD to euro, all you need to do is this one, right? So very straightforward way, in even if I want to do the transformation also. So these are a couple of use case for like the action, like how the clipboard AI work. But if you will go outside that, there are more capabilities where you can sign into your specific profile, and then on top of that, you can settings couple like enable extractor as a table, show data map. But not only one, the one of the more exciting feature is now you can bring your own model into picture. For example, if you have trained a model for your vehicle title or a registration or any specific model, you can always add that model here by providing the URL and the API key, and then it can also accommodate those kind of specific model that you created for your needs. So this is a quick demo of in action, clipboard AI in action. And now I'll pause here. We are all open for any questions and answers. So, yep.
Hey, by the way, it's an amazing demo, Atul. I really wanted to start using this tool by now. Thanks for that.
Most welcome, sir.
And I think the other thing, Atul mentioned it a few times, but like he didn't do a lot of magic behind the scenes. So Atul wasn't mapping these fields, he didn't spend time, for those of us that have done maybe traditional data integration where you've had to say, I'm going to take first name, put it in the first name field. I'm going to take phone number and put it in telephone phone number field. He didn't do any mapping behind the scenes. So there wasn't any like auto magic that he did to make this happen. So the tool really is that easy. And I love it. And it's definitely going to be the way I'm going to be doing my expense reports with my, for my daughter's sports team, my Publix expense reports, like you saw there. That's how I'm going to be doing them going forward. So, and I'm sure a lot of us have very practical applications immediately that come to mind that you can use and be able to use this in your everyday, or you've got users that you support that can definitely start using this, and you can start using it like Naveen just said. You can start using it right away because it's that simple and doesn't require any pre-setup or pre-mapping or anything. You can just really start playing with it and testing it out.
Thanks, Courtney. I think Francisco had a question.
Hey guys, thank you for the presentation. It was a very great and informative. I just have a question in terms of the information that is captured for the clipboard. What does the application do with that information? How does it store it? I'm kind of like more in, want to know like the security aspect of it. What does it do with my data and how is my data protected?
That is a very good question, Francisco. So, as you have understood, Atul has explained that it is an EXE that has been installed on your local machine, right? So, yeah, he's bringing up the public beta, but I can give a brief answer, but you can go into the depth, Atul. So as you are installing an exe on your own machine, that means everything that has been installed is in your local computer, and nothing is being sent outside or through any of the things. I think it is also passed through SOC2, if I'm not wrong, the cybersecurity clearance. So it is, the data is very safe. And there is an option called as copy to clipboard in UiPath. If you are using those activities, it is the same kind of activities that you are just copying the information within the locally installed machine learning models, and you can directly paste it anywhere you want. So it is just copying it to the clipboard, and you can paste it anywhere you want. But the intelligent extractor will understand what is the other side of the form, whether it is a web form, or whether it is an Excel application, or whether it is a plain text field or something like that. You can go
And
into
to
the
add,
depth of.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, again, this I've pasted that in the chat window also. But like the data is being captured. Again, this is not in a production so far. This is, I think, in the so far general availability, public availability. So far, all the data that is being collected here specifically mentioned is only being used for diagnose purposes and respond to customer requests. So basically, no data so far is being used for training machine learning models, right? So far, I believe for the GA, they are collecting the data only to help diagnose the issues and to help the customer respond to customer requests. But I think as we will move in production, it may change. But this is a complete document which talks about how the database is being used. but to be on a again, this is only for the public beta. As we will move into production, things may change, and the data policy may change. But as of now, but to be a little bit secure, no data is being used for the training the models, if that helps.
Gotcha, because my concern is that I'm taking screenshot of like let's say driver's license for a specific user, of like let's say I'm filling up their expense report on the accounts payable. So like their driver's license is not getting fed it to the AI, right? Like
Right,
they're
right.
not
And
it's not being sent to train them on that model. It's not storing it, correct, right?
right, right. And that hopefully this line answers
Yep,
that.
I see it highlighted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
And
for that.
Atul posted the link in the chat as well. So, you can grab that link and review it for additional information.
Appreciate it.
By the way,
Anything
has
else?
anyone previously started using this Clipboard AI in the trial version or any other kind of way? Okay.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me? You cut off for a little
No,
bit.
no, 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 to the everyone in the audience. So
Oh, thank you.
I don't see any hands raised, but I'm sure after this they will be, Naveen.
Right. I think the best thing is like install this tool. It's a very easy one. Like it's a very lightweight exe that you will go and download it. I just deleted when I was cleaning my data, but I mean, simply download it from the. It's free of use. So you can install it. I mean, again, I showed here. I have copied into my profile here, but you don't need to. I mean, I can sign out from my profile and it will still work. So that is where you don't need to sign in. Simply install this tool. It will take a minute to install and no complex installation. One step, click next, install it here. You can move it around where you want and try it out and see how it is working. Again, this is still in a very learning phase. Most of the time, 90% of the time, I haven't faced any issue. I'm facing issue moreover in terms of unstructured data where I'm reading from an email. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I need to write specifically labels to identify the data. But again, it automatically understand once you fix it. The next time when you will learn, it automatically understand that okay, this is you have already told me, so I'll not do the same mistake, and this tool automatically works fine. So again, so far, completely free tool available to everyone. It supports multiple languages. So far, I believe it supports English, Spanish, German, and few more. And again, it runs on Windows so far. I'm not sure whether it's run on Mac. It is not supported, but it runs on Windows so far. And again, yeah, try this tool, give your feedback. If anything that three of us can help, more than happy to share anything we can in your journey on this automation or copy pasting. So yeah,
Can I ask one quick question before you guys wrap up?
definitely.
So on here you have that you've used 90 of 100 actions. Does that reset monthly, or on this trial, if you don't have an account, is it 100 and then you're completely done?
So this is when I think when I'm not signed in. Let me sign in again as a
I do
community.
think it's unlimited once you sign
Yes,
in, but
yes.
I'm curious if we would have some people start testing, how this would work, and they don't have an existing account. Is it that 100 and then it's maxed out for their test?
I think so, but
Okay.
let us get back to you on this specific. I'll try to search, but again, yes, this is. I think it will. We can do a couple of more, and but yes, I think sign when you sign in, it is unlimited. When you are not signed as an anonymous user, it is limited to 100.
Okay. And have there been any discussions yet or communications coming out about this being added to the enterprise accounts and what that will look like?
No, so far, but it's a very good question. We can definitely reach out to UiPath and talk about that. What is the roadmap? And we are actually going to meet in a month or so. We can get a complete roadmap for this particular tool. So far, again, they want to keep, based upon my understanding, they want to keep it as more available to generic public as is. But if it goes to enterprise, there may be definitely some more integration point that it will be able to help. But we'll get that for you from the UiPath experts.
Thank you.
Well, great. Thank you so very much, everyone. I mean, still, if we are here for another 5 minutes. If you have any question, if you want to discuss how you want to, how you plan to use this tool, we are all open. Again, this is an interactive discussion. Any great use cases that you are thinking about, how you are going to use this tool, how this tool will help you. We are all ears, and we are excited to learn your plans also for this one. So, anyone wants to discuss or present their ideas, or what kind of challenge it will resolve for you?
Hey guy, I actually have a question for you, if that's okay.
Sure.
Um, you used the web form as an example of it pasting. Could this be something that could be put into like a 3270 terminal, and that's what we are pasting the data into?
I haven't tried that, but by the definition, it should not be an issue. I haven't tried that. So basically, what you meant is pasting it in a.
Like an AS400, like mainframe terminal, like 3270 or
Mhm.
5250 type session.
So I'm not sure about that. So far, again, to be very honest, again, so far by the documentation, this tool is only meant for Windows. So I'm not sure in mainframe how well it will work. But again, we need to try that out. It's a good thing which we can see. I mean, eventually, I think if this tool goes in that direction, it will start supporting web, kind of like what other the UiPath web is doing, and similar to the mainframe also. But to be honest, at this stage, it's only support Windows.
Yeah, James, in my past experience just using UiPath with AS400 applications, it has difficulty spying the fields, like, so it has challenges recognizing because of the images or whatever. And again, I'm not technical. I just know working with other, with the development team in that type of environment, that it was had some challenges. So I would anticipate maybe this would have similar limitations.
But it's a great question. We can definitely take this one also. I will also try to run it through some simulators or something, how well it is responding. I think it will be able to paste as is in a plain text, but again, mapping those kind of things, we will see. But this is another thing which I'm noting it down, and maybe we will get back. Naveen, if we have the context, we'll be able
Yeah.
to get back how it is responding with the terminal, even if it is not officially supported. We also want to see how it works with the outside the windows.
Yeah, absolutely. I have two questions to get back to the audience here. So yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Most welcome.
I love it, by the way. I love what I'm seeing, by the way. And like the ideas are popping off in my head, for sure, on different practical applications. And I have a financial services background, and I know a lot of systems I've like worked with in the past. They have a direct 3270 connection or a web interface of that 3270 connection, and that sort of thing. So my mind's just kind of going off there.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much.
Also, just a quick question: do you use those 3270 connections on a Citrix machines, or where do you use it? How do you?
So I've used them virtual or direct, or again through like a web layer, right? And so essentially you log into like a website, and it logs into kind of the 3270 session there. So and then of course virtual, like through a virtual machine that where you can then open up the 3270 session directly, and then also just using like Jolly Green Giant or something like that, like an emulator, like a 3270 emulator directly, and configuring that to access the environment. So several different ways I've done it before, and I've actually built some bots that really took control of the 3270 session, 70 session that was through like Jolly Green Giant or another emulator, if you will, to just grab data off spreadsheets and paste it into screens on, navigating the screens and that sort of thing. So I could see this as being something that if you kind of recognize the screen and you're just always hitting that same screen, you could go grab some document data and just paste the specific ones, like use the mapping to paste it into specific fields on screen and that sort of thing. So that's where kind of my mind's blowing up at the moment, but among other things that are not terminal related. So a lot of different things.
Gotcha.
Great. And James, if you get a chance to research before us, if you get a chance to try before us, please share your feedback, how it is working. It will really help us also if someone also is having the same use case.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. This has been a very productive session. I think we can wrap this if everyone's okay.
Absolutely fine. Again, thank you so very
Awesome.
much, everyone, for
Yep.
who has joined. Feel free, if even outside this meeting, if you want to reach out to us, if you have any question that we can answer, we'll be more than happy to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find us by just clicking on UiPath community website, and you can join any of the any of the communities, and you can reach out to us. You can email us. You can ping us. We are available on social media like LinkedIn, and you can ask any questions related to UiPath. And let me give you the community. So this is the community link where you can find your chapters, the nearby chapters, and you can see what is the chapter doing recently.
Right.
Awesome. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks Atul.
Thank
Thanks
you.
Courtney.
Take care. Bye bye.
Thanks, Naveen. Thanks, Atul.
Thank you.
Bye.